Okay, so now it's working. I figured out why it keeps disconnecting. Ugh, that that sucks. Okay. Hi guys. That are here. I am so sorry it's going crazy. That my OBS is acting weird. It started acting weird all of a sudden. I don't know why it started acting weird. You could tell me. But yeah, so today we're going to be working on the Death Note. We're going back to working on Death Note. What we did last time is we had just wrote the Light's first kill that he made. So we were writing that, and then today we're going to be working on like writing his second kill, so his first intentional, like the first one where he knows that he knows that it works, but he wants to confirm it works, right? So yeah, so we're gonna be doing that. Let me pull up the chat so that way we have the chat. For those of you who are new here, hi, I'm Chrissy the Abyss. Yeah. So basically, the rules of this, or the general, ground rules, are that this is a open source, adaptation, where we're going and we're adapting Death Note. You can give your like what you want to add into it, as long as it exists within the canon of Death Note, and it makes sense from a personality standpoint or stuff like that of the characters, and it would work canonically. We're able to include it, and whoever headcanons and stuff like that get added into this new existing canon will be credited accordingly. So just letting you know, if you happen to be some executive and you want to fund this, you want to go and make this into a thing, and listen to the fans for once. Please go and give me money. I'll make this into a thing. Like, I can make this into a thing. It won't cost that much money. But yeah. So let's read what we have so far, because technically, where we left off was us killing the dude with light, and the whole point of the first kill was to emphasize the 40 seconds that it takes to kill someone, because it would be the longest 40 seconds of Light's life. So this was what we did last time. So what we wrote last time was, Light looks at the TV. Light, I was bored too. And even though I didn't believe in it, that notebook has a power that makes anybody want to use it, at least once. Interior Light's bedroom, day, 5 days earlier. Light gets up from his chair, walks to his bed, and lays down on the bed. Light, write their names and they die. Light yawns and rolls over to his side. Light, how stupid. Light's face scrunches in thought. Light sits up and slides his legs over the side. He walks to his desk and sits on the chair. He opens the Death Note and grabs a pen. He puts the pen to the paper and hesitates. He takes the pen off the paper and brings it to his mouth. His face scrunches in thought. He puts the pen back on the desk and grabs the remote. The TV turns on to a J-drama. The channels change over and over again. The channel stops changing on Channel 6 News. The TV shows a building with text reading, Shinjuku killer holding 8 hostages. Reporter, VO. Killed and wounded 6 people yesterday in Shinjuku is still barricaded inside with 8 hostages, including small children. A man's photo is shown. Reporter VO. The Metropolitan Police have determined the man's identity to be Kuro Otoharada, age 42, and formerly employed at Light grabs the pen and writes, Kuro Otoharada. He puts down the pen and looks at his clock on his bedside table. The clock reads 21:00. Reporter VO. Officials disclosed that 2 days ago, Otoharada had been seen having a heated argument with one of the staff at the nursery. Light looks at Kuro Otoharada written on the page of the Death Note and looks at the whiteout pen in the cup of his desk, on his desk. He looks at the TV. TV shows CCTV footage of a man accosting one of the nursery employees. Light looks at the alarm clock. Light's clock numbers blink and change to 21:01. Light sighs. Light, I guess it's not real. Light gets up from his chair. Reporter VO. Oh, wait! The hostages are leaving the building! Light's face looks shocked. He sits back on his chair and looks at the TV. The TV shows the hostages running out of the building while police run inside. Reporter VO. We'll go to one of our colleagues on the ground. The TV shows a reporter with a woman in nursery uniform. Reporter 2. What just happened inside? Did he release you? Let me fix this. No. Nursery worker. No. He grabbed his chest and fell to the floor. After that, we all ran. I think he's dead. And that's what we wrote last time. So let's go. So like it's customary every single time, for those of you who have the Deathnote book, please take it out and turn your pages to page 31. All right? Page 31. It's the page, for those of you who don't know, your copy doesn't have the page numbers. It's the one where it says, but no signs of their captor just yet. Dead? It appears Otohirada is dead. This just in, the captor inside the nursery school is dead. You know, that's the page we're working on. For those of you who don't have a copy at home because, it's not one of your frequent reads or something like that, let me get you the link so that way you can follow along with us. Because we're always welcoming here. All right, let me go and put this in the link. And paste. And there's the link. Let me pin it to the top. And manually unpin at the end of stream. And, yep. There you go. So, good. So, that's pinned at the top for anybody who needs the link. Because I know some of us are not, can't afford the book. I totally understand. Like, there's some things that I can't afford either. So, trust me, I totally understand. But yeah, so let's dig into it. All right. So now what we're working on is Light at this moment, right, is shocked. So he is like, oh shoot. Now, like, it might have worked. He's shocked because it might have worked. But he's like in denial. It's like, it probably didn't work. Like, it can't, maybe it was a coincidence, right? He wants the benefit of the doubt that he didn't just murder some dude. He wants the benefit of the doubt. So he's got to, like, he has to be in this train of thought of how is he going to test it again. And then how I see the scene going, right, in this plan of action, I see it going where basically he's planning the next murder. But then he gets interrupted by his mom going and, like, saying, hey, you gotta go now so you're not late for cram school. Right? So he's not late for cram school. And so she's basically telling him, oh yeah, you gotta go to cram school, which is where he's gonna find his inspiration. He thinks it's like a mild, like, inconvenience that she's like, oh man, like, why are you interrupting me, like, at the worst possible time? I'm literally trying to, like, conceive of how I'm going to test this thing. And also, you would probably not approve of the fact that I'm testing this thing if you knew this thing was real. Right? And so, and also, this is also a hint to why he's so collected on hiding the Deathnote. It also explains that because he's had practice with what's acceptable, right? So with, like, not what's acceptable, but, like, what is plausible deniability in his case. right? So what I think he should do is like when she comes in, have him close the book and start putting it in his bag. When he hears the door, when he hears the knock. So for her, plausible deniability is that like, oh yeah, like he's just getting ready for cram school, you know? Like for him, he's like, oh, I gotta hide this book, you know? But he's putting it, and he's not really thinking about putting, he's not intentionally putting it in his bag. Like he's just doing it because he needs to hide it. Like, and I think that in cram school, I think he's thinking about like who his next kill is, but he's like, he hasn't thought about that it's in his bag until it gets to the moment where he's doing that and he's putting away. I think what happens is when he's putting away his stuff when it's at the end of cram school, he realizes the book is in there, and he's like, this might be my opportunity, and so he takes the opportunity. I think that's how we can do it, to where it's not like it, because the thing is, as a writer, you don't want to go from like one place to another without some connective tissue. So he has to actively always be making the choice, right? Always making the choice to use the notebook. It can't just be like, oh, I wrote the name down just because. It has to be an active choice where he could have, and you have to give him multiple opportunities where he could have not done it, where he could have stopped, right? But he didn't. You have to give him multiple chances, right? Especially in the first couple ones, because when he's establishing a habit in a sense. So like, we're giving him moments where he could have stopped, but he didn't. The universe was giving him an out, and he didn't. And I think that is like what it should be. And then eventually we're going to get to the point where it's in his nature to start writing these names. It's like, oh, you have your cup of coffee, you go and you have your cup of coffee, you go and you like eat your breakfast, and then you write like 20 names down. And then you go and drop your sister off at the train station. You go to class. On your lunch break, maybe write another 30 names down. Then go and like, you get the point. Like, he's like, it's like very, like, it starts becoming part of his routine. So at some point, it just becomes something automatic that he does. Right? So but in the first couple scenarios, it has to be an active choice. It has to be so active. And there are still going to be moments where he's going to make it as an active choice, but those are the more significant deaths. Where we're testing him. So, yeah. So, like I said, page 31. Let's read what is the next thing that we are writing. So, the police are emphasizing that they did not shoot him. Could that mean he committed suicide? Well, the hostages are apparently saying he suddenly collapsed. A heart attack. It couldn't just be a coincidence. There's only one way to find out. Light. It's 6:25 already. You have your prep course today. Yeah, I just was getting ready to go. Somebody, it would be okay to kill. No, who ought to die. So I guess it has to be a criminal after all, but not anyone too major. Or the cops might keep it a secret for a while. I need a result right away. Hey, Rio, baby. What, Sudou? Lend me some money. 2,000. I'll do it. What again? Yo, dudes, we're going to the game center tonight. Sudou. Try killing him. No. I should avoid anybody that I actually know, but am I being too careful? A guy like that, nobody is even gonna notice. And then, wow. You Yagami, Mr. Number 1 nationwide. What you doing spacing out? You're our star pupil. We need you to place first again. Okay, that is like a lot. That is too much information right there. Okay, hey Maki, want to party tomorrow with some guys from the college, 10 o'clock? Yeah, totally. Hey, can I go too? My mom isn't here yet. What's that doing? What's that nag doing? Damn, starting to look around you, and all you see are people in the world that would be better off without. Okay. So, that's basically, so far, the pages that we have to go and do. So I think what should happen here is a heart attack. And then Light looks at the page at goru ota harara. How do you spell that? Let me just copy and paste it, make my life easier. Just make myself easier. And paste. Yay! Now I don't have to type that at the Deathnote. Heart attack. Light. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe a coincidence. INCDENCE. Maybe it was just a coincidence. Maybe it was just a coincidence. People die of stress every day. Die of from every day. Every day. There's no way this worked. Heart attack. Maybe it's just a coincidence. Every day. But if it did, but it worked, then but if it worked, then, but if it worked, I gotta test it. I have to test it. Alright, and then this is the moment where I want the mom to start opening the door. Light. Okay. The door handle of Light's bedroom door turns. Light puts the Light quickly put the Deathnote in his bag. Quickly puts the Deathnote in his bag. Light's bedroom. Light quickly puts the Deathnote in his bag. The door opens. In his bag. Sitting next to his desk. Sitting next to his desk. The door opens. Sariko. Light. Go. Are you ready? For cram school? Are you ready for cram school? Let's see. Okay. You got it? Are you You got to head out. Now. You are okay. It would be okay. Okay. Train. The door opens. Sai go walks through it. Go. Are you ready for cram school? You gotta head out now if you're going to make the train. I'm ready. Let's go. I'm going. Like grabs the bread. I'm going. Like grabs his bag. Grabs it. Okay. Alright. So, he grabs his bag. So now, we gotta do a new scene heading. Let's see. Scene heading. Alright. So, scene heading. Interior or exterior. Okay. Exterior, city evening. The reason why I'm putting evening is like it's that time where like the sun's kind of like in golden hour where it's like setting, but it's not officially night and it's not fully day right now. That's the time when this should be taking place. Like there's like a golden aura like across the sky, right? And I feel like that would be like a really cool like thing of like it metaphorically, right? Like the sun's setting, but it's kind of like the sun's setting on like his normal life, and it's like the moon is rising on the darkest timeline of his life, right? So that's how I see it. It's like the sun's setting on like on this time of him being a like normal person. He's no longer going to after this moment, he's no longer going to be a normal student anymore. He is going to be a literal mass murderer. So I feel like it's like a really good illusion. Having it take place in that time is a good illusion. It's also supposed to take place in the kind of close later in the day anyway, so making it evening kind of sets the point up so beautifully. And it's a beautiful scene otherwise too, to like have it be during that sunsetty hours, right? And I would think that his cram school is like about an hour, right? He's there for about an hour. So like when the dude dies, I want it to be is that the sun fully sets when he dies. That fully sets. That's when it takes place, right? Like we want to have that metaphor of that, of the end of a chapter and the beginning of a new one. So, because when the sun rises, he's going to be a new person. So yeah, the sun. The sun is low in the sky. Sun is low in the sky. It would be okay to kill. No, somebody who it would be okay to kill. Actually, let me put that line before. But if it worked, I have to test it again on someone who is okay who should be there. That way it's kind of like she interrupts before he says killed, because we know where he's going with this, right? It's I should add in parentheses hyperventilating. I feel like he should be hyperventilating, like as he's having this like revelation. Like and tries to calm down and takes long breaths. There. That way we're kind of giving the idea that like it was worrying in this moment. Now someone on the outside of this, like, that hasn't like understood his psychology on the outside yet, would think like, oh, he's like someone who's watching it from the first time would be like, oh, he's hyperventilating because now he's a killer, right? That's not Light's mindset. Light's mindset is the fact that he's literally hyperventilating because he's like, will I get caught? Will I see consequences? Kind of. So like that's what happens for people who are narcissistic, which is what Light's thought profile is. His psychology profile is. He is a narcissist. He has narcissistic personality. So for him, we can't think of like in order to write him correctly, I can't think of it as like I did something wrong, because that's not what he's thinking. People who are narcissistic, they don't think I did something wrong or I hurt somebody. They think of, oh, I'm going to get caught or I'm going to get in trouble. And it's not because they are like, they want, that's not a malevolent thing. It's the fact that they can't actually conceive. Their brain is made in a way where they actually can't conceive of like how other people feel. So because they can't conceive of how other people feel, they only can understand things by the consequences. So for him, for someone on the outside, they see this as, like, if they're not introduced to him being a narcissist, they see this as, oh, he's worried that, like, he's a killer. No, he's worried that he is that he will face the consequences of being a killer, right? He will get caught. That's what he's worried about. And this is nothing to say that narcissistic people are bad people. This is not what I'm saying in the slightest. Or people with psychopathy are that. It's just that how their brains work, they don't have that that part of their brain that can think of how other people may think. So you have to write it in a way where he is not thinking that way. And there are many people who are psychopaths or narcissists that are wonderful people. They can be wonderful people. They just don't know how to interact in those ways. And so in this case scenario, he's in a case where he's being led astray in a sense by Ryuk and by the Deathnote. But till this point, if, like, in an alternate universe, right? If, like, Light never, like, got the Deathnote and stuff like that, he would still be a narcissist. But he would be a narcissist in the same vein that he was prior, where he is only seeking validation from his achievements. That's how he's getting validation. That he is getting the achievements. He plans to be the highest ranking police officer that he can attain. He wants to be the smartest person on the police force. He wants to have the prettiest girl that he can attain, because that's a trophy to him. Those are achievements that make him feel like he is achieving something, right? And he doesn't care. Not that he doesn't care. He doesn't have the capacity to think of how getting to those achievements would make other people feel, right? He's just striving for other people to give him notoriety. Whereas after he gets the Deathnote and after he gets he's influenced by Ryuk, that notoriety is not, he attains that notoriety through being Kira. He gets that validation through being Kira, and he gets that validation through Misa. So he gets validated every single time by using the Deathnote. So the Deathnote becomes his new form of validation. He stops wanting to seek validation as a police officer. He starts wanting to seek validation as being a mass murderer. So he wants to be notorious and infamous instead of famous and seeking notoriety. So that's the idea, right? This is who Light's been his entire life. It's just he's been driven down a bad path with bad influence. And no matter how much Misa could ever try to fix him, she will never fix him. So that's literally where we're at with, like, why I'm writing the words like this. So, sun's low in the sky. We wrote that line. All right. So the next line is, so I guess it has to be a criminal after all, but not anyone too major or the cops might keep it a secret for a while. I need a result right away. I feel like we don't need that, right? I feel like he doesn't need that part. I feel like he should, like, he's not in that active thought process of, like, using the Deathnote. Right now he's passively using it, so I don't think he would think this way right away. So I think we see him walking into the cram school. Actually, we don't even need to show the city. This is a frivolous shot. I think interior, cram school, classroom, evening. The sun is low in the sky. The windows Light sits at a desk in front of the windows. A desk in front of the windows. There we go. In front of the windows. The sun is setting, though the windows behind light show the sun is low in the sky, making it clear. Okay. Making it clear. Let's see. Low in the sky. Light is putting away his let me see. Yeah. Oh, yes. I feel like the scene where basically the guy's harassing like the students should happen after at the end of the teacher's class. So like light, I feel like light is half asleep. Light is half asleep. Light is half asleep. So like you kind of know what half sleep is. His eyes are droopy, like he's like is half asleep, holding his head up with his arm. Teacher. I feel that's the moment where the teacher is like, Yagami, I can't lose you. You're our only hope. You know? You're our only hope of like the class like attaining any high scores. Yagami. Pay attention. Yagami. Light opens his half shut eyes. Teacher. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. You're our only hope for getting any high marks for this class. So like this kind of gives the idea that the teacher's pretty much given up on the rest of the class, which is kind of the tone of what he says when he talks to the students. Because in the original thing he says like he like wakes up Yagami, and Yagami's like, yes, sir, sorry, sir. And he's like, you're our star pupil. We'll need you to place first again. You, Yagami, Mr. Number 1 nationwide. What are you doing spacing out? So, like, that felt like too much of an information dump for what we can literally do. Like here where it says, pay attention. You're our only hope for getting any high marks for this class. And, like, all the kids are, like, so offended. Like, I feel like the entire class should be, like, so offended in that moment. The classroom of students angrily stare at the teacher. Teacher stands in front, stands at a podium in front of a blackboard in front of a blackboard. Okay. At the teacher. The teacher. The bell rings. Okay. Angrily. Alright, yes. Angrily. There we go. The bell rings. And then have the teacher say, please actually take a look. Please. At least look at the, please at least look at the study guide. Please at least look at the study guide. Especially, I feel like this teacher is so bad that he points out, like, the one problematic, like, person in the classroom. Like, the most problematic guy in the classroom. He points them out. Right? And it's also, the guy happens to be the same guy that Light goes after. You know? I feel like that should be it. So, like, let me see. And then, especially you, Sudou. What did I do you? Or want to take this up? No. Want to take this outside? Want to take this outside? All right. Class. Dismissed. Class dismissed. I feel like that's how the conversation should go, right? And then let's take a little break. Let me get some water, and then so I can come up with the next part. Because like right now my brain is like trying to come up with the next part. And we're doing so good. We're actually almost there. We're actually almost to like 250. We're almost there. Like, we're doing actually good. Let me get my water. But yeah. So yeah. I'm thinking about the next upgrades that I've been doing, because now that I actually have a decent paycheck that I'm getting, it's not the best, but it's definitely better than I used to have. Like, I'm thinking of like all the upgrades that I'm planning on getting for you guys, so that way I can upgrade you guys, because like I need to upgrade my streams, because like my computer, right? It takes me about on a normal day, right? Where I'm like editing stuff or stuff like that. So, videos per week can take me about 9 hours to do if they're minimal work, because partially it's because of the fact that this stream is fine. This one usually takes like an hour, maybe 2 hours. But for streams like, for example, Sudou, or like, for example, like the longer streams that take about like 3, maybe 4 hours, those streams, they take a lot longer. So that's why I've been also trying to do recently is make the Monday streams so short, because it takes so long for me to edit. And it's partially because my computer freezes every single time I do editing. And so whenever I edit, my computer's just constantly freezing and crashing and stuff like that, because my GPU is so old. It's like I barely understand how it's even keeping up with the systems I'm running on it. Like, it's barely running, but it's running nonetheless. Like, I'm surprised it hasn't blown up by now. But I'm thinking about upgrading my GPU so that way I can like have this run a lot more smoothly, and I can get the editing done so much quicker. Because like, if I could like pay the money so I can upgrade my GPU, and it deducts my workload even like by half or even 25%, right? I wouldn't even mind 25%. That makes so much of a difference on not only the quality of the videos that are able to come out, but it also makes so much of a difference on all of the stuff I can do. Like, because I would be able to get the videos out quicker. They wouldn't shut down as much. And then the amount of things I can run while doing it can also improve. Because there are some things I just can't do because they take up too much power. So like, for example, my character, I like, in order for me to go and make my character high resolution, I actually have to make it a higher resolution than the video itself. Because in order for me to do that, the quality of the character is already low quality, but then it's gonna then become lower quality because it's taking a smaller amount of pixels to make the same thing. So whenever I blow up the picture from these streams, the picture quality is not that great. You can notice this because whenever I do any like just chatting things, anything where it's like something made specifically for the TikTok, so like you'll see it like whenever I'm doing an intro for a TikTok, I'll use my just chatting scene, and my just chatting scenes are a lot better quality. So here's what it looks like, right? I'm gonna show you guys. So like when I go into just chatting, right? Off the background, because the background is not what I use. So whenever I'm in this upscales the quality of it. So I don't have to do that extra editing that I would have to do if I were to get the same result. So like I have to run it through programs and get it stuff like that. So, and sometimes I would have to upscale it. Now if I had a higher GPU, like if I were to upgrade my GPU, which would upgrade all these things, it would make it to where I could upscale the quality and I wouldn't have to be going into these like into this window and doing these things, because makes it a lot easier for the system to work, right? So that is part of the reason why I want to do this like this, is it just makes it a lot easier for me, personally. But I don't do this because it's really hard to, like, if I could, I would love to do is just upscale my character's quality, and so that way then when I scale it, it looks not like this, but it looks close enough to the quality that you see here, where it's like very good. You can see the details in the hair. It's not pixely, like, and all that beautiful stuff. And so I'm working on getting a new graphics card and getting a new more storage, because I also have to buy more storage, because literally the videos, because I've done so many videos in the past like several months, I have literally filled up a whole terabyte. Not kidding. Something that should take most people years to go and fill up, I've managed to fill up in months. And so I definitely have to eventually go and like upgrade that. I'm thinking about probably getting like one of those backup storages that are like several terabytes bigger, and also have like, if like one of the servers crashes, it doesn't get, none of the data's lost. So I'm thinking about getting that, but it's like obviously expensive, so it's gonna take me time to like buy the GPU, buy the backup storage, and eventually I do plan to like upgrade my model to where I really want to do is upgrade it to where I have hand tracking. So for me to have hand tracking, I would have to pay $40 for VMagic Mirror to add the hand tracking element to my character, but also I would want to use like those wireless wristbands, the ones that track your hand movements. I would want to use that, because for me, I don't like using cameras. Personally, whenever I have a camera, I don't feel as authentic. I don't feel like, when you're when you're someone that has an issue around being watched and having a camera in your face, it makes it to where you don't act as genuine as you would. So by stripping it to where I don't have any cameras, everything's working off of AI, and then eventually I do plan to have hand tracking on my character. When I finally have hand tracking, then I can expand also the quality of some of the things, because then I would be then able to like do things like, go and try to like talk to you guys in this version of chatting, this version of just chatting, where I'm just like talking using my hands. I talk with my hands when I am like at home and with my friends and stuff like that. I talk with my hands because I'm someone that does that. So you would get to see me talking with my hands and talking and doing weird things. And I also, there's some of the projects that I eventually plan to do require me to use hand tracking. I eventually want to try using VR. And while yes, you can use the VR headset and you can use like the controllers and stuff like that, the problem with using the controllers is that the controllers, they don't exactly how the best way to phrase this? They're not the most accurate. They're not the most accurate, and they tend to not work the way that you want them to work. And especially if you're doing something like VR chat, or you're doing something where you want precise hand movements, I would want to do that, right? And so I want to do these scenes, and there are some things that I'm thinking about doing that, like, would be so cool to just have everything. Like, there are many things I want to do to expand this, but the first call to action is I have to get a GPU. I have to get a backup storage, so that way I can keep doing this, because eventually I'm going to run out of storage making these videos, because I'm just so, like, I'm that crazy. Like, it's bad when you realize, like, I realize, like, how many videos I've made over the course of me working on YouTube. Like, it's only been 6 months, but I've surpassed the amount of videos that some big time YouTubers have done. Like, people who have higher subscriber counts, I've literally made more videos than them in some cases, because of how many TikToks and how many videos I've been putting out. And it's insane. I've been doing that in such a short amount of time. And that's awesome, but it also means I have to buy more backup storage. So eventually I'm going to do that, and eventually I'm planning expanding a lot of features. I'm also playing with the idea for this, for like these streams. I'm thinking about like, I want to do a short series for a little bit. I want to write a short fan series, like a fanfic, something like that. Because there was something that one of my friends said that I was like, why? Because like we were having a conversation about like how fan fiction. I was telling him that fan fiction is so important, especially, and it's something that should be a respected craft, because a lot of authors wrote a lot of fan fictions and then eventually realized those fan fictions became their own stories, and so they changed small details so they would become their own stories. And he's the problem is he's writing himself in circles because he doesn't want to copy other people. But the problem is that when you're in an industry where you're literally copying everything that has ever existed or will exist is a copy of something. It's a copy of multiple things. There's never going to be anything new. I can name literally, I could put, say, one log line of a story, and I bet you there are 9 different stories that are exactly the same. I bet you it is not, I'm not even joking. And a lot of these a good way of writing a good story is writing fan fiction, because the reason why fan fiction is so important is that when you write fan fiction, everyone knows that character. Everyone knows how that character is supposed to behave. So they know what this character is supposed to be, right? So we know how Harry Potter is supposed to behave. We know how Deku from My Hero Academia is supposed to act like. You know, we know how we know how Bella from Twilight is supposed to act like, right? I'm referencing the 3 of the biggest fan fictions. If you don't realize. We all know what they act like. And so what happens is that when you make a fan fiction, you're using the pre-established character traits of those characters. The fact that they are those characters doesn't even matter. You then go and turn certain qualities. You then change the story to be the story that you want it to be. And then it becomes the story. Now, some of you might not believe me in terms of fan fiction is the first step to writing in a serious way. I wrote fan fiction, so I know how much it helped with my craft. I am not going to tell you what it is. I'm just going to say, it's not that I'm embarrassed, it's that it's not that I'm embarrassed, it's that I have scrubbed it from the internet, so I don't even think you're going to find it. So I'm not even going to point to where it was. But for example, I can name 3 stories for you, and they were fan fictions of something. For example, have you ever heard of Mortal Instruments? Mortal Instruments, which was created into the Shadowhunters TV show. Do you know what fanfiction it used to be? It was a Harry Potter fanfiction with Ron Weasley and Ginny Weasley. Not kidding. That was literally the fanfiction. And you know the Mortal Cup? That was the Triwizard Cup. The author of Mortal Instruments took her fanfiction and then turned it into something where it can be a novel. A novel series, might I add. The one that we all know, 50 Shades of Grey, was a fanfiction of Twilight. Which we all know was a successful book series. And yes, we can all acknowledge that that's its roots. Can we also realize that it also is a completely different story when you break it down? Sure, similar beats are there, but it's a completely different story. Dead serious. Another story that a lot of people can acknowledge is my back itches. Wait a second. There. Okay. Another story where you can actually point a finger at it are most of animes. Most animes are copying the same thing. And I've said this before. When you look at it, right? For example, Blue Exorcist. Blue Exorcist is a copy of Naruto. Jujutsu Kaisen, copy of Naruto in Bleach. Which Bleach is a copy of another show that copied Naruto. And Naruto copied stories from prior. Everything's a copy of something. It was a fan fiction of something. Fan fiction is just like I'm like, why can't we get rid of the stigma of like fan fiction? There's nothing wrong with it. Sure, there are fan fictions where they're a little spicy and a little sexy, but there are novels like that anyways. Fan fiction is just a tool so people can learn how to create structured characters. Characters that are, we already have a pre-established structure. We already know how they're going to act and behave. It's just character shorthand. That's all it is. And then once we have the character shorthand, we can then go and work on evolving the character through the storytelling. That is literally what it is. The characters are just used as archetypes. So we can better understand how we can change them. So please, if you're someone that is writing yourself in circles and you don't know what to do, please write fan fiction for a little bit. You will see a massive spike in your progress in writing once you get over the stigma of writing fan fiction. Because it doesn't even have to be anything spicy. It doesn't even have to be like a love triangle or anything like that. It can literally just be that you're just like, what happens when this group of characters from one universe meets another group of characters from another universe. It can literally be as simple as that. And it works. Heck, half of the TikTok people, they literally, like, there was a time where they were making My Hero Academia, like, fanfic skits. And I love them. I thought they were hilarious. Especially, I forgot her name. Let me find her. But I was following her for a very long time. She was this, no. TikTok, no. Where is she? She was this black creator. She's also a vet. So let me see. I'm trying to find her name on my TikTok list. Where is it? That's one of the creators, but not the creator I'm thinking of. Let me put Aizawa. No. Where is... Yes! Oh my gosh. Nikwa Marina. I watched her. I loved her Aizawa clips. Oh my gosh. Did TikTok take me off as a follower? No wonder I couldn't find her. Oh my gosh. But basically, I used to watch her Aizawa clips because they were so, like, they were the most honest about the character Aizawa, in my opinion. I thought they were so amazing. The scenarios that she would, like, come up with for, like, oh yeah, let's throw the MH crew through this. Like, I love those skits so hard. And I love that the fact she had, like, the white wine with, like, him wearing the capture scarf and, like, the shades. It was just awesome. And, like, her portrayal of, like, Aizawa was so on brand. It was so on brand. And I was like, yes, she did it was so awesome. I loved those skits. I miss those skits. I actually miss them because I've been rewatching MHA because also I figured I rewatch it since I've been reading the end of the manga, which I heard a rumor that they're actually I'm forgetting his name. Jeez. Sakeuchi, something like that, is continuing the manga. So he's planning on continuing the manga. But I've been reading the manga and the final pages supposedly, and I've been like, whenever I've been reading it and watching the anime, because I've also been rewatching it on Netflix. Literally, it's been bringing me back to all of those creators that they had their fanfics of, like, what's going down in the My Hero Academia classrooms and what is Aizawa doing this week. you know, because they kind of fleshed out the story and made it funnier whenever you saw the characters, and I love their little headcanons of the characters, and they're also part of the reason why I was inspired to do this series, because I was like, oh my gosh, like to do my own adaptation where I can mess with this as much as I can. I'm not gonna like fuck it up, but I'm definitely messing with it. But yeah, like I love their fanfics, and like I'm so happy that like Nikki is like reaching a level of stardom. Like being the fact that she got into the Marvel Cinematic Universe is very big. Like I am so proud of that creator, and the fact that she's taken something she created in when she was in a depressive spiral, and found a way to find beauty in it, and then found a way to use this platform to then talk more about veteran struggles, and to talk about, you know, complex PTSD and stuff like that. So Nikki, Marina, if you see this, I love your content, and I wish you a wonderful, you know, Memorial Day. I wish you a wonderful Memorial Day. I hope you have a wonderful day, girly. Like thank you for your service. But yeah. So before let's get back into this before I go into a whole tirade about everything. All right. Let me see. Right with me. There we go. And we have about like less than, I would say, like 20-ish minutes for the end till the end of the stream. So I think what we're gonna do, because I'm cutting these short, I'm trying to keep these writing short. So I'm trying not to like make it to where it's like crazy long, so I can edit it within a normal amount of time. So let me see. So then it's action. The student start packing up their stuff. Light pack up his stuff. Not packs up. Puts his papers and his notebook in his bag. His notebook in his bag. The Deathnote. The Deathnote is in light. Looks at the Deathnote in his bag. In his bag. And then okay. Sudou. aggressively spot me a thousand spot me a couple thousand, will ya? Spot me a couple thousand. Off screen. There we go. Off screen. Light looks at Sudou and his what the? I got a mole on screen. You have summoned the goal mole. He may be blind, but he sees you're doing great. What? Oh gosh. No way. Wait, let me see if you guys see it. Oh my gosh. You don't even see it. Oh my gosh. Here, let me show you guys. Look at this thing. Oh my god. It's a goal mole. We have a goal mole. You didn't even see the animation. It literally climbs out of the dirt. I was like, what the hell is happening? Oh my gosh. And it's because we've hit 250. I don't know when they started this, but this is wonderful. Like, Celtics, thank you. You made this awesome. I love the goal mole. Keep doing it. It's awesome. Oh my gosh. And he has a little trophy. He has a little trophy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. If he becomes the mascot of this stream, I will laugh so hard. Like, if you guys love Goal Mole, I will literally, like, try to make him into, like, a badge. Not kidding. Because, like, boy, like, oh my gosh. Goal Mole. No kidding. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Celtics. Thank you. You just made my day. Oh my gosh. Goal Mole. Literally Goal Mole. Oh my gosh. And oh my gosh, he sinks into the dirt. Oh my gosh, he just sunk into the dirt. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Gomo. Oh my gosh. That was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. That was funny. Like. Oh my gosh. Alright. So, Light looks at Sudou and his friends cornering. Does he say his name? Ryo. Ryo. Late teens wears stripe shirt, wears a striped shirt and glasses. So basically, like, they're cornering him in. Like, I'm thinking of these these desks that, like, they have a bar on the side, so you can't get out on both sides. You can only get out on one side. Right? And so they're cornering him in the desk. Right? This desk chair thingy. Bio. Again. I can't. No, again? No, No, I need it for my train fare. For my train fare to get home. I need it for my train fare to get home. Let me double check. Let me see. Train fare. Nah. That wouldn't work. The reason why it wouldn't work is that train fare would run you about 20 yen. And so 2,000 yen doesn't work. Now, for some of you who are wondering, are like, 2,000 is a lot. It's not. 2,000 is roughly a little under $15. It's like 13 bucks, I think, approximately. So it's about $13. So it's not a lot of money. So I can't say it's for his train fare, because train fare doesn't make sense. Because train fare is about $20,000. Unless this dude is like traveling from one side of Japan to the other side of Japan, it's not gonna work. Because it doesn't make sense for him to be going long distance. What would be expensive? Like, I need to eat. I need to eat dinner before I go. My train. Okay. So again, no, I needed to eat dinner before before my train. I needed to eat dinner. Sudou. Look, do you want this to happen? Do you want this to end like last time here? So we've established this dude is intimidating, is like literally suckering people out of suckering this dude out of his money every single time. And also, the other thing we're establishing is Light could stop this at any moment, right? He could confront the bully at any moment, but he doesn't. Okay, again, no, I need here. Ryu, pull out a stack of Japanese yen. Sudou snatches it from Ryo. Sudou walks out of Sudou and his friends gleefully walk out the door. Light looks at the Deathnote in his bag. Looks at the Deathnote in his bag and grabs the bag. Light walks towards the teacher's desk. Towards the teacher's desk. The teacher is packing up his stuff. Packing up his papers. Light looks. I think what Light should say here is, I think I came in late. Can you mark me as here? Right? Trying to say that so that way he could see the roster. You know what I mean? So like he's trying to get a look at the roster so he could see how that dude's name is spelled. Right? So basically, he's trying to see how the name's spelled. So that way he has the name, so that way he can then write it. Right? And then, so. No, I misspelled light. Ugh. Light. I think I came in late. I think I came in late. I think I came in late. Did you mark me? Can you mark me? Mark me. Oh, I misspelled towards. Oh my gosh. My brain. Towards. And then Light looks at the roster in the roster sticking out of the stack of papers in the teacher's hand. Oh, don't worry, I marked you down. Oh. Don't worry. I marked you down. Don't worry, I marked you down. I marked you down. The down. Don't worry, I marked you down. I can never. My best students. I never forget my best students. And then action. The teacher's hand puts the papers in the bag. Light looks at the teacher and gives and has a disgenuine in smile. Does ingenuine mean not genuine? Ingenuine. Yes, okay. So ingenuine smile. Ingenuine smile. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So much. As much as I would like to continue to the first kill, as much as I would like to write, the next part, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop it here. I'm also going to change this because from what I read in the next part, he does get picked up by his mom. So I would think, actually no, I'm going to leave it like this because we can assume that his mom probably picks him up. Like, I'm going to have, okay, so let's say his mom picks him up, right? From cram school. I feel. Okay. Because she has to be there for when his sister comes home. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So yeah. So the next part is going to be us writing the death. The death of Sudou. So I'm going to read what we have so far. We wrote, even though it doesn't seem like we wrote a lot, we wrote like 404 words, and we got through, what was it? 1, 2, 3 pages of stuff. We got through 3 pages of stuff. Condensing some places, getting rid of some things, but also adding suspense. For the most part. Because we're trying to, like I said, we're trying to create roadblocks for Light, where he has a shot at, like, he doesn't have to do it. The universe is giving him, like, no, don't do this. We don't go and do this. Like him going and, like, being stopped by the fact, like, the teacher doesn't, like, the universe makes it to where the teacher marks him as here, so he has no reason to look at the roster, right? To get a sneak peek at the roster. He has no reason, right? So he can't see Sudou's name. Like, the universe is not making it easy on him. And so he's making these active choices, right? And so that is the moment where I'm like, yes, let's go and do that. So we're creating more roadblocks. I want to create more roadblocks for him, for this moment. The universe is trying to stop him, pretty much. But he is completely disregarding it entirely. So yes. So let's go, okay. We did write 2 pages, so we did good. So, let's see. So let's read what we have so far. Light looks at Koru Otohara written on the page of the Deathnote. Light hyperventilating. Heart attack. Maybe it's just a coincidence. People die of stress every day. But what if it worked? I have to test it again. But on someone who should be... The door handle of Light's bedroom door turns. Light quickly puts the Deathnote in his bag and sits next to his desk and takes long breaths. The door opens. Sariko walks through it. Sariko. Ko, are you ready for cram school? You got to head out now if you're going to make the train. Light, I'm going. Light grabs his bag. Interior cram school. classroom. Evening. Light sits at a desk in front of the windows. The windows behind Light show the sun is low in the sky. Light is half asleep, holding his head up with his arm. Teacher, Yagami. Light opens his half-shut eyes. The teacher stands at a podium in front of a blackboard. Teacher, pay attention. You're the only hope for getting any high marks for this class. The classroom for the student, the classroom of students angrily stares at the teacher. The bell rings. Teacher, please at least look at the study guide, especially you, Sudou. Want to take this outside? Teacher, class dismissed. The students start packing up their stuff. Light puts his papers and his notebook in his bag. Light looks at the death note in his bag. Sudou off screen, aggressively. Spot me a couple thousand. Light looks at Sudou and his friends cornering Ryu. Late teens, wearing a striped shirt and glasses at his desk. Again? No, I needed to eat dinner. Sudou, do you want this to end like last time? Here. Ryu pulls out a stack of Japanese yen. Sudou snatches it from Ryu. Sudou and his friends gleefully walk out the door. Light looks at the death note in his bag and grabs the bag. Light walks towards the teacher's desk. The teacher is packing up his papers. Light looks at the teacher. I think I came in late. Can you mark me as here? Light looks at the roster sticking out of the stack of papers in the teacher's hand. Teacher, oh, don't worry. I marked you down. I never forget my best students. The teacher's hand puts the papers in the bag. Light looks at the teacher and has an ingenuine smile. Thank you so much. Yep, and that's what we did today. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this, follow me. Subscribe on YouTube. I would love to see you guys here on Twitch and talk with you guys. I had a couple lurkers, but not that many people today. I want a couple, I would love to talk with you guys, so please follow so that we can get the notification on when I'm live. I usually stream on Monday through Wednesday. Usually, sometimes the times may vary because I work. But yeah, and if you like my stuff, you guys on Twitch like my stuff, please go and subscribe on YouTube. I would love to see more of you, interacting, joining the community, having fun with ARG. We're a big community. We love having more people here and giving info and giving ideas. So we're gonna be doing that. So yeah, so see you guys later for Stardew. Bye.